Good morning, interwebs. It's 11:47 and the walls are closing in on me. See, Steve, that was where we were gonna go with the walls coming in through the window. Anyways, Steve has finished the ceiling. There's an entire ceiling. See, look at all my little holes that will have electrical related things hanging out. And there's the hole that used to be the door and now has studs in it. And it's going to shortly have walls over it. So, how do you feel the progress is going, Steve?
Good.
Anything of note?
I should be done with all the home drywall today and have to go get more tomorrow.
We had leftover from when we did our kitchen. So, that's what he means by home drywall. There's been like 8 or 9 sheets hanging out in our garage.
10
you know,
to be
10.
exact.
Oh, well, that's good. Which is extra funny because that definitely makes projects like this seem more doable. Because I'm like, well, shoot, that I can speak. Shoot, we don't have to even buy all the drywall because there's some sitting in the garage. No, you still have to buy a ton of drywall and all the other things, but it's much more easy to justify. And our ceilings are more than 1 sheet high, so it's the sheets going around. Steve then has to cut out the extra little bits and puzzle it all together. Well, it is 2:37 and I think I'm gonna head to bed now. It was a busy day, but I also didn't really do much. So I spent a lot of my time this morning while I was at home working on my cotton scrap blanket because I was kind of just killing time. I had to take my daughter to her dress rehearsal for their dance recital this afternoon, and we all had to go because Steve had to sleep. So me and the 3 kids all went over there, and it was like a 2.5-hour rehearsal, which it also happened to be over 90 degrees outside today. And while it was fine in our house, I shut the windows down, and like the air conditioning wasn't on today as opposed to the last like 3 or 4 days. It was really hot where we were. So doing things outside was not a good plan. Like I couldn't take the boys to the park or anything. Went to the library, did some school there, and then they were just over that. So then we went to Walmart and I had some things I needed to buy there, and that was fine. Then they were over that. Then we went to the thrift store where I found some books for my daughter. Spent a whopping 86 cents. I love thrift store books in that way because I was kind of worried I'd spent too much. And then she's like, it's less than $1. And I was like, oh, I can do that. And that was like for 8 books, I think. So then we went and got gas, and I got ices for us at the gas station because I felt like we deserved them and I was hot and we had to sit in the car and wait for a while for the rehearsal to be done. Then we picked up dinner at Hardee's on the way home. I had made pan-fried catfish nuggets for lunch today, so that was good. So we got cheap and easy dinner because it was late and we were tired. Came home and then just kind of hung out for the evening because that was enough running around and hot and tired and, you know, all the things. And then after the kids went to sleep tonight, before everyone went to bed, I went and hung out on the porch for a while, like around dusk, and I edited the vlog for yesterday, and that was nice, except I'm an idiot, and there were all the bugs, but I was determined that it was finally nice, and I have a porch, and I'm gonna sit on it, because I want to, and I have it. So I went and did that, and all the bugs came and hung out on me and made a meal of me, and I think, though, that most of them have already gone down, which means I don't know what it was that was biting me because I have severe reactions to some bugs and some bugs don't bother me. So thankfully it was the non-bothering bugs that bit me up. And then yeah, everybody went to bed, and then I worked on stuff for my shop until I realized that the blade in my paper cutter is too dull. So I'll have to wait till Friday when I can get another blade. Would have been nice if I would have known that, you know, today that I could have gotten a new one, but whatever. So I will do that later. Worked some more on my blanket, and then I basically was just watching YouTube and like sitting on the couch staring into space while YouTube was playing, and the cat and dog were just kind of taking turns sitting around me. That was most of my evening entailed, and it was quite pleasant, but a lot of just staring into space, which happens sometimes. So now I'm gonna go to bed and close my eyes, you know, because I'm tired and all, So we'll see if that still is true when I go and lay in bed, because sometimes that feeling is fleeting. So anyways, I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty night. Good morning, interwebs. It's 8:24, and I realized I'd not picked up the camera yet today, and that if I did not pick it up soon, it would be too dark in here to show you around, and we'd miss a day of progress. So today, notably, we hit the day of the project where Steve should probably take a day off because he is cranky from doing construction, and I was probably cranky just in general, and that just made for a very unpleasant morning, hence the not filming of things. But it's a phase. Every time we do one of these house projects, you hit that day where like, you really should have taken a day off in there, but my husband does not like to do that at this point, so instead, we get cranky pants. Anyways, I know, I probably do the same thing, but it is not the most fun thing ever. So we took our old door for this room, which as you can see does not actually touch the ground, but Steve put the hardware on it so it's hanging here so that it kind of acts as a door and keeps kids and animals and things out of here for the most part. So to show you what's happened, I already showed you the ceiling was done. Yesterday, Steve finished putting up all of the full sheets of drywall, and then today he was busy cutting out the fiddly pieces. I think that one probably about did him in. Oh, and this one too, I think. That basically fill in the gaps. And so we've got this whole wall is now done. This is where the door used to be. There's now no door there. And then here's some more drywall to go up tomorrow. This top piece needs to be filled in here. And filled in here, I think the parts under the windows on both of those still need to be done too. And this one, there's some work up here. So, I mean, he's about halfway done, like finishing things off. And then when that is done, we tape and drywall mud over the seams and then texture the ceiling and whatever walls are getting textured. And my cork for the walls is on its way. So I guess today also I'm supposed to finish figuring out what I need as far as like shelving and finishing things. Because we're going to go to Manhattan tomorrow because I have acupuncture, because my acupuncture person is going out of town next week. So I had to bump up my schedule a bit, but that's fine. Certainly won't hurt. And we're going to go to Menards also. So that will be kind of our last chance to get whatever we want or need to finish the room for a couple weeks. Like planned out. We could always go if we need to, but if we can get it all tomorrow, then we don't have to make an extra trip, and we can just spend time and energy like actually being here. Also notable, last night online, Steve ordered the underlayment and the floor for this room. We're gonna do a cork floor in here. I don't think the sample is around. It's like a light whitish color. It actually is a very similar color to our carpeting on our stairs and upstairs. So the whole bottom level will ultimately have that cork floor, and it all kind of matches with the stairs. And I don't know, I like the way it looks. And it is a similar color to Kuma, which is not a bad thing if you ask me. So yeah, actually being here, I haven't been in here much today. Been avoiding the room. It's a little warm. Probably need to go turn the air conditioning up in the house. But it feels like a room now. I always joke with Steve though, when we tear everything out and it's all open, it always feels so big. For the fact I like tiny, cozy, like cocoony spaces. I don't like big rooms. It feels really neat. And I'm always like, why do we need walls and ceilings? We should just live like this. And then I'm like, oh yeah, sound protection, privacy, weather. Those are the reasons we have walls and ceilings. So yeah, but I think this is going to be an interesting space, and it's amazing. It looks kind of big and open, and I've had people comment this is going to be like a bright room, which I guess is good in theory, but I like things dark. So we have kind of an interesting thing with that. Also, a bunch of things are going to be stored in here, kind of to be protected from light, so I am going to have a bunch of cabinets. I think they're going to have doors on them so as not to bleach my fabric and stuff. So, you know, figuring things out, but I need to spend some time just standing in here and pondering, probably measuring some things out, deciding what I need. I already know that we need to get some paint because I'm going to put the cork board on the walls, and then I'm also going to, that cork is natural cork colored, and I'm then going to sponge paint it in a like I'll just let you see the colors, but I'm excited about them. So, as we keep saying, we're just living my 9-year-old best life. This room is going to be a 9-year-old Kendra's dream. That's what we're aiming for. I was joking with Steve because I want to paint the ceiling a solid color. Probably. Well, it's going to start a solid color and then it's probably going to get additions. But when I was talking about painting it, I was like, I could add the glitter stuff to it. Steve goes, there's that 9-year-old best life. I'm like, yeah, well, you know. I'm not, though. I'm not going to add the glitter to it because I don't think I will ultimately like that, that effect. Okay, I need to go and finish. Dinner is sitting on the stove waiting to be assembled. We're having rice bowls tonight, which is ground pork cooked in our home canned enchilada sauce. And I made some rice, and then we're going to shred some cheese, just cheddar cheese. Sharp, extra sharp cheddar cheese. And my daughter is out harvesting cilantro and lettuce from the garden, so we'll put a little bit of that on and it's going to be delightful. She made delicious tuna salad for lunch today with lettuce from the garden and cilantro, and also it had some of our home canned scallop squash pickles and home canned relish, which was delicious. So we've been enjoying the fruits of our labors today, so that's been good. And I spent my morning working on secret things that I'm sewing for my shop, and yeah, it was a busy morning. I figured some things out that were giving me trouble, so that was good. Figured ways around a few things, you know, did some problem solving, which is always good, but it's always kind of annoying that you have to problem solve, but once it's done, it's done. Oh, this is funny. So this, let's see, let me open the window so you can see it better. This is one of the pieces from when we did the kitchen, the drywall, and we kind of used it as our trash sheet on the outside when we were storing stuff, because it got torn up. But we also let the kids draw on it one day when it was up. We were doing the kitchen. That's funny. I figure you have to reward them when you keep telling them not to touch something. If they are doing a good job of not doing it eventually, if you can, it's nice to then let them touch it when it's no longer a big deal. Okay, off to go and assemble dinner. And yes, I realize it's like 8:25 and that seems late, but the sun is staying up so late now, and we have no reason to live on, you know, the rest of the world's schedule, that since the kids don't get hungry till it gets darker, we just eat later and then they go to bed later and theoretically they sleep in some, and that makes everybody happy. So, okay, rice bowls.